Hello and welcome back to another Demis Hellen tutorial. We are going to address the reason for using different synth plugins. Now, the reason that I use different ones is because I can get to my outcome a lot quicker. So the output of the sound, especially when I'm designing it, it's a lot quicker in certain synths to do certain sounds. So I've got three loaded up here, and you can see SynthMaster 1, all the ones in green, TAL-Uno LX, and Hive 1. So there's two paid and one free in there. Even though this is the paid version of Uno LX, you can get a free version of it as well. And first up is Hive. I'm going to use this for the pads, and this is always my choice for pads when I'm creating something a little bit more different than just the usual saws or super waves or whatever you want to call them. And the reason for this is down to wavetables and how warm it sounds just straight out the box. It's got a unique warmth to it over the other synths. So as you can hear now, we've just got some saw waves here operating from oscillator 1, because oscillator 2 is not actually volume up. It is volume up, so we'll just have volume from the sawtooth here. So I'm going to leave it on normal for now. I don't want it clean and I don't want it dirty, so normal's nice, happy, medium. And we're actually going to change this to a wavetable. And we'll use a complex. I do like the complex ones. Let's start with Rough City. Don't mind me, I'm just changing the wrong things here. We'll do presets here for the complex wavetable now. So that's quite nice. I'm just going to shift the position. That sounds quite nice, just about there. So straight away I've started to get a nice soft vibe from this. So I'm just going to turn up the attack. Too fast for me. That will do for now. So we've already got that nice pad slow swell in there, and now we've got them in there, we can now start messing around with the filters. So here I've used the peaking now on the second oscillator across the way, and we'll do that in a second. So I'm just going to switch this back to a low pass 12. I don't want it to be so harsh on the 24. Okay, and we'll use a bit of LFO modulation on that later. So now we're going to go across to this one, and we're going to choose oscillator 2. We're going to solo this. Let's just choose a wavetable here. Go back to complex if we can. And we need to turn on oscillator 2. So I'm going to put peaking on here and find something that I want in the background. That's quite nice. The Physiolator, I like that one. So now we're going to turn up the resonance to give it a peak shape. You can hear now we've got some movement. I'm going to turn the filter down, just to control the output so it's not overtaking this oscillator. So let's blend them together. going to attach the LFO, so we're going to attach LFO2 to this one just to keep everything on that right hand side. So we can hear that moving now, and that's based on the 1:1 time base that we have here. So let's just set this to 8th triplets for us, 8th dotted for a second. Okay, straight 8th is sounding a lot better. So I'm just going to lessen the intensity. So I like the movement, but I'm going to change this to a sine. I'm going to change this to 8th. Just to give it a bit of movement, I'm just going to literally dial it in ever so slightly. Just so we've got that little bit of movement back and forth. And you can see how quickly I've got to this position. So in the effects here, now I'm going to go to the EQ. I'm going to shave the highs off. So now we've got this really nice lush sound. We can add a phaser on there. Let's put the EQ first. I'm just going to add that in ever so slightly there. Bit of reverb. Change the tone, change the size, add some more width into it. Okay, so now I want this EQ to come in after these two, so I can shave some of the low end off. And then finally the compressor, just to bring that level back up. So that sounds quite nice, where we just throw the resonance full. Gives a nice effect on the peaking. LFO down a bit. Okay, so you can see how I've got really quickly to that final outcome there, and Hive 2 can do a better job of that for me than, say, Spire. A lot of work's going to have to go into that Spire, and just to get some of those sounds, it's not going to sound the same. And I'm just picking Spire as an example. I'm not kind of trying to diss Spire. I do like Spire quite a lot, as you all know. So we've done that. The pads, I'm not trying to create any sort of trance theme or anything like that, but it's got that vibe, shall we say. So SynthMaster gives me a really quick insight into how to make a nice sounding pluck that's got a little bit of bounce in it and a little bit of like twist as well, and I'll explain what I mean. It gives you that nice soft approach as well. Okay, so this is the melody as it stands. So let's just go into using a few of the first features in the oscillator, because we're only using one for this demo. So you can hear there, I was just shaping the D tune, and it's not exactly what I was looking for, but if you leave your 2 unison on, you get a nice stereo width in it with the D tune fully down, so you can see it's quite narrow there. Control that volume down. Now we're going to attach it to the filter and just do a few simple things. Mod envelope 1 is here. Okay, so we're just opening up the mod envelope there, so it's already routed through to 1. And I'm just making a bit of a shape there to start getting a pluck. Now what we're going to use is the LFO1 to create a little bit of twang and a little bit of movement in there, and it's quite reminiscent of trance. So LFO1 is going to be attached to fine tune. I'm going to set it to bipolar, so it's operating both directions. I'm going to set this to global, so then this is just moving freely through it, regardless of tempo. Open the width up a little bit just to enhance what we've done with that unison. And for the sake of this, we're going to use the internal effects. So I'm going to drag reverb to the top. Okay, and then we're going to put some delay on. Now we're going to set this to ping pong. I'm going to put eighths on the right side and eighth dotted on the left. Just going to turn the width down a little bit as well, just to control that stereo field on the ping pong there. Then just a bit of EQ on there. I'm just going to put a high pass. So straight away, I've already got to my goal. I wanted to create that little bit of unique pitch bend in there with the fine tune, and it's just really easy because the UI lets me do it quicker than some other UIs where you have to go into a separate page, or you have to jump into the mod matrix and you have to set it up through menus. It's a really quick way, so that is one of the reasons why I like using SynthMaster. Plus it gives you that nice analog feel as well. Really nice sound. So now we have those two. Really nice, and we just used the default settings there from both and just built from the ground up. So we used the wavetables in the first one for the Hive, and then we just used the standard saw wave that's loaded with SynthMaster. Finally, we have TAL-Uno LX. Now this is one of my favourite tools for creating really gritty basses as well, especially using third-party plugins for distortion and things like that to give it some character and texture. But it sounds really nice off the bat, so we're going to go into here, and I've just set these to 16th notes at the moment, so I'm just going to open them up. So they're just short of eighths. So it already comes preset with the saw and the sub square on. It's not quite where I want it, so instead of moving the MIDI, I'm just going to drop it down an octave. Sounding really nice already. I'm going to set up the ADSR here. I'm going to bring the filter down. I'm going to bring the envelope up. Let's just try it with a bit of chorus. I think it's a little bit too much with the chorus on. you can hear there, we're using quarter notes just to make that LFO rise up the envelope a little bit, or should we say the filter. Let's just see how that sounds with both. Sounding quite nice. I'm going to go with the chorus one there just to give it a bit of width. Sometimes you have to give your ears a rest and come back to it and just see, is that really what you're trying to create? So you can see there, that was even quicker than the other two just because of the simplicity of that. And I just really like how quickly you can get to that just straight from the startup preset that it comes with, which is defaulted to just those two there. Really, really quick. Now, if I chose to do any of these in other synths, for example, if I wanted to create a pad that was similar to the one that I've just created here in Hive, but try to do it in Serum, it's going to be a lot more of a workaround. There's going to be a lot more workload involved to get to that stage and a lot more processing, whereas I got to that pretty quickly using Hive. So I hope that does explain why to use different synths for what different reasons. And as demonstrated, you can see SynthMaster, I got to that pluck sound that I was looking for really quickly, straight to the bass even quicker, and that pad sound, it took a little bit more shaping and precision, but that was just showing you some of the features of Hive as well. But it was relatively quick to make that preset compared to if I was trying to create something as soft and as mellow as that in another synth. Because some synths have harsher characteristics, some have really soft approaches at the beginning. And I'd say that the chalk and cheese comparison is Serum and Hive. If you wanted to try and create something in Hive that was as sharp as Serum, you're going to have a lot of work ahead of you to get to that sound, whereas Serum's going to give it you instantly. And I hope that did answer some questions, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like down below, hit the comments, I always get back to everybody, and finally hit subscribe and the bell icon so you see all of my uploads, and that's 3 per week on various topics. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.